Hello, everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss developing a positioning strategy. Now, once a company understands its value proposition, the next step is to develop a clear positioning strategy. So, positioning is about creating a unique space in the customer's mind for the brand. It's how customers think about the brand in relation to other brands, and these are the competing brands. There are two types of positioning here. First is rational, and we have also emotional. Rational positioning focuses on logical benefits like product quality, durability, or cost savings. For example, a car manufacturer might might position a car based on its fuel efficiency. And so that would clearly point to the logical benefits that the customers will get from buying this car. Emotional positioning, on the other hand, targets feelings and emotions. Customers may choose a brand because it makes them feel good, or it makes them feel stylish, or it makes them feel like they are part of a community. A strong positioning strategy should be distinct and it should be memorable. So, the brand substitution test helps check if a brand's positioning is unique. If another brand could use the same messaging, the positioning is not strong enough, right? So, effective positioning also needs to look to the future, ensuring that the brand remains relevant as the trends and the customer preferences change in the market. One of the first things to establish in positioning is the frame of reference. This defines the category or market the brand is competing in. Is it a luxury product? Is it a budget option? Right? So, setting the right frame of reference helps customers understand what kind of product they are considering to buy. For new or unfamiliar brands, clearly communicating category membership, showing where the product fits in, helps build trust. As part of the positioning process, brands also need to define their points of difference or the PODs and the points of parity or the POPs. The PODs are the features or benefits that make the brand unique, hence the points of difference. These should be important to customers and they should also be difficult for competitors to copy. So, for example, a smartphone brand might differentiate itself through superior camera technology, such as what we see with Apple iPhones. Now, POPs, on the other hand, or the point of parities, are the attributes that the brand shares with competitors. So these are the similarities with the competitors. Now, these ensure the brand meets basic customer satisfactions. So, again, in a smartphone, for instance, features like battery life and screen quality, these are standard across different brands. So some brands compete in multiple categories or markets, meaning they need to manage multiple frames of references at the same time. So Starbucks is a good example here. It competes with fast food chains for customers looking for a, quick coffee. But it also competes with the higher end coffee shops that are, the competing coffee shops that target the same customer segment who are the premium audience looking for a higher end coffee. So this requires careful positioning to balance both segments without confusing the customers. To stay ahead of the competition, companies need to create a sustainable competitive advantage. Now, there are several strategies they can use to achieve this. The first is differentiation. So, by offering something unique that customers value, customers help make themselves stand out or distinguish themselves from the rest of the market and from all the other competitors. For example, Gillette differentiates its razors by focusing on innovation and high quality, and this is pretty clear in their advertisements. Building a strong brand is another a strong way, it's another great way to create a competitive advantage. So brands like Harley Davidson motorcycle or the Coca-Cola have loyal customer bases because of their distinct brand identities. Now, these brands they stir up strong emotional connections in the customers and that are very hard for competitors to break or even imitate. However, competitive advantages must necessarily also be sustainable. So companies need to continue innovating and improving their products to maintain their position in the market, especially if they are leaders. So it's not enough to create a competitive advantage once. This competitive advantage needs to be refreshed and it needs to be updated over time. Companies should also make sure that their competitive advantages are leverageable. This means that these advantages can be extended into new markets or they can be reused when introducing a new product. So, for example, Apple's reputation for innovation helped it move from computers to iPhones to the tablets and even services like streaming and payments. So, this is an excellent example of a company that was successful at making its competitive advantage relevant across different product categories. Now, the final step in this process is communicating the positioning. Brands can do this by clear and concise positioning statement. So this statement is supposed to highlight the brand's unique value and why customers should buy it. Now it focuses also on the key benefit that the product provides. Another important part of communicating positioning is establishing category membership. So when a new product or brand enters the market, it's important that customers quickly understand what kind of product it is and how it fits in. So this helps build trust and it also gives credibility and especially in markets that are highly crowded or very competitive. Finally, storytelling is a great way for brands to communicate their positioning. And I think Jollibee is one of the few local companies that are very, very successful at positioning and storytelling. So, by telling a story, brands can create an emotional connection with their customers because storytelling often involves the use of narratives that reflect the brand's value and it reflects the brand's mission. And most often, these values and mission resonate very well with the customers. So, the Nike, for example, tells stories about overcoming challenges and achieving greatness. And this fits in very well into its overall brand of message, which is just do it, right? So, storytelling helps customers remember the brand and feel more personally connected to it. Again, especially if the values of the company and its mission are clearly and highly aligned with those of the customers. Now, here are some practical tips for creating and communicating a successful positioning strategy. Number one, you need to understand your audience. So, use customer data to know their values, their preferences, and pain points. And personalize your positioning according to these data. Next, remember to keep it simple and clear. Ensure your message is easy to understand. Okay, customers should explain why they choose you in just a few words and not something that is highly technical. Now, focus on emotional connection as well. So, you can use storytelling, as I mentioned, to connect emotionally with the customers and help align your brand with their values and their aspirations in life. Use digital channels. Okay, so use the social media and use digital platforms for consistent messaging And also try to engage customers where they are using these digital channels. Be consistent across touch points, but also remain adaptable to market changes. So you want to have one consistent positioning message across all channels and across all media. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then you risk the confusion. Next, continuously innovate to stay ahead and maintain relevance in competitive markets. Next, track customer perceptions and market position using perceptual maps to guide and adjust your strategy. And lastly, communicate the benefits. So, not only the features, but also highlight how the product solves problems or how it fulfills the needs of the customers and not just its technical features.